What's up, everybody? This is Jordan from PictureMonk.com, and welcome to another MiMiC video in my famous MiMiC series of videos. They're becoming actually very popular, more popular than I thought they would. So I'm going to keep rolling on them because you guys apparently like them. So in this photo, I'm going to take this photo and kind of mimic the style of this photo that you see here. This one I pulled off of a website that was an article showing you how to take better landscape photos, and so I'll link that in the description below, in just in case you want to read that article. But this photo was on this article, and I just thought the colors were really cool. The concept was really nice, and so my goal in this video is to try to mimic or copy the editing style of that photo into this photo right here. Now, normally I try to find a more similar photo to the original, but this is the best I could find. I still think it'll turn out fairly well. So let's go ahead and get started. And as always, real quick, you can download the free Lightroom preset for this over at PictureMonk.com. I'll put a link in the description down below so you can check that out there. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do here is, if you can tell from the original, I need to get the colors right, because the colors really make the photo. The desaturated colors really or what sets this photo apart. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my vibrance down almost all the way, so right around there. And then I'm going to increase my saturation. Normally, if I'm going for a desaturated look, that's what I kind of do, is I take my vibrance down and my saturation, I'll bump that up. So right around there, let's keep that there for the time being. Let's go to split toning. This will definitely help with some of the colors, so let's bump this up here. Let's take this up so I can see what I'm doing. I want the highlights to have a little bit of a bluish tint. It'll actually turn out to be slightly gray, which will actually work out fairly well. Still have a little bit of color, but they'll mainly turn out gray. Shadows, those need to be a little warm. So right around here. Crank that up so we can see them. I'm thinking there is good. So you can kind of see it's already matching a little bit of the warm tone there. The only thing that stands out to me is this red, the barn. I can't really do much to it, because if I do it to the preset, it's going to affect your photo, and you may not have any red in there, so I don't want to affect that. But the green bush here, I want to go ahead and take some of the color out of it. So I'm going to go to greens here under my HSL panel, HSL color black and white panel, and I'm just going to take down the hue a little bit to make it not so green, and then take down saturation. I'm going to go pretty far with that one. So that's kind of what we're looking. Let's look at the before and after. So we're kind of already getting there. We're getting very close. So now this time is when we need to do the color tone, or the toning of the image, the black and white tones that'll really pull this photo together. So let's go to the basics here. I'm just going to increase the warmth of it a little bit just to brighten some of that up. Take my contrast. I'm going to go heavy with the contrast. For this one, I'm definitely going to take my highlights all the way down and my shadows all the way up, so you can kind of see we get a little more detail here that we're working with. And again, this is a JPEG. It's going to do a whole lot better on your RAW files when you apply this to your RAW. So I'm going to take my clarity, bump that pretty far up. I'm liking the way that one looks. I might go a little farther. Yeah, I like to go heavy with the clarity when it's called for. So that's good. That's good. Tone curve, it was very contrasty. However, I'm going to give a slight fade to it. I'm not going to go crazy, but I just want to make it to where it's not as punchy, but still keep the contrast. So maybe right there. Might move this up. There we go. It's just a slight bend right there towards the blacks. Let's see, what else can we do? I think the only thing that's really going to pull this together is to go under Effects and the Dehaze. Normally you wouldn't use Dehaze on this, on daytime images like this, but watch what we do here. I guarantee it's going to come out fairly well. Look how it brings out the sky there. I'm not going to go too far with it, but right around there brings out the sky, makes it look really, really awesome. I'm going to put a slight vignette. Might do it that way. And now when I did that, I kind of darkened the image a little bit, so I'm going to just bump the exposure up. So roughly there. So I think that actually matches the photo, the original photo, very well as far as the color toning and all that kind of stuff. The only thing that I would do, again, if I was just doing it on this one image, I would go to my my colors here, go to the reds, and then back the red down, so where it wouldn't be as noticeable. But for the preset purposes, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave all the colors fairly the same, except for the greens. So those should affect only just the greens in your image and nothing else. So when you do get the preset, play around with the colors and make sure that they all match fairly well. But this actually turned out pretty well. So very happy with the image. Hope you guys enjoyed this MiMiC video. Go to PictureMonk.com to download the free preset. The link is in the description down below. And please remember to subscribe, like the video, all that fun stuff. And I will see you in the next one.